Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Virginia, and today I'm bringing you 20 DIY gifts that are perfect for Mother's Day, but can also be used for family, friends, or anyone else special in your life. Thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. Almost all of the gifts are going to be using Dollar Tree supplies, and I'll show you how I use my Cricut machine to jazz up and personalize the DIY gifts. We're gonna start off with this little spa basket, slipper basket really, for mom. I found this mom tag on the community page of Cricut Design Space. It's a really great place where people share different projects they have made. I'm usually pretty imaginative and good at coming up with Dollar Tree DIYs, but when it comes to paper crafting, cards, especially tags like this, I love going on the Cricut community space and seeing what other people have made. I'll leave the project for this tag linked down below in case you also want to use it. Now we can commence putting together mom's spa slipper set. My Dollar Tree has at the front these spa slippers in a couple of different colors, as well as these fun face masks, which are really cooling. I have a set for myself. They're so nice, especially when you have a headache to put on. And these great emery boards. It came with 2 emery boards, a buffer, the little scrubby for your nails, of course the scrubber for your actual feet and your heels, and nail clippers, all for $1.25. I thought that was quite the steal. So this was all centered around the front of my Dollar Tree, but if it's not at yours, I would explore the home goods and then also the beauty section to find these. Next, to quite literally and figuratively tie together this DIY, I took some ivory and lace ribbon that I had in my stash and tied that around my slippers and everything that went into our slippers along with our mom tag. Keeping in with the spa theme, this would be great for mom to pamper herself. I also think it would be a really adorable bridal shower gift. Instead of saying scrub and soak, I would say from my shower to yours. That was just a thought that came to mind. But I saw these adorable mini mason jars in the Crafter Square section and had no idea what I was going to use them for, but I picked them up because how darn cute are they? So for the tops, I just took some sticker paper and I did use my Cricut to cut out the circle, but I also have a circle hole punch. It wasn't quite this size, but if you guys do have circle hole punches, you could use that too. So once you have got your circles, I did one that said soaked and I just used a black pen to write that out. And then my other one says scrub, and I'm gonna show you guys what I filled these up with. After tying a little bit of lace ribbon on the handles for some embellishment, I filled up the one that says soak with this body wash that I find foams really well and kind of creates a bubble bath. It's also from the Dollar Tree. It's their Relax line, and I love it. It's eucalyptus. It smells so good, so I filled that one up. Then for scrub, I made my own salt scrub using some pink Himalayan salt that I have and a bit of coconut oil on the bottom. Then you just shake it kind of hard and it mixes all together and makes a really nice scrub. My only tip is be careful with the salt scrub. You might want to substitute the salt for sugar. I think the salt scrub's better, but if you have any little cut on your body, it is going to sting, so be careful with that one. The next DIY, we're going to make our own breakfast board for mom because to me, nothing says Mother's Day like breakfast in bed for our special lady. For all of the projects today that involve the Cricut, I used my Cricut Explore 3. I go between this one and my Maker. My Maker is out 24/7 because I use it so much, so I always love that one. It's kind of like my home base, but I was doing these projects really fast, so I wanted to use the Explore 3. It cuts so fast, it's kind of crazy. So not only does our machine cut twice as fast, but my favorite part is that you don't have to use a cutting mat. This machine uses the smart vinyl, so you don't have to worry about the sticky mat and dealing with all of that, which is great when I'm doing lots of projects back to back and I want to keep things moving and keep it fast. This adorable Mother's Day board file I will have linked down below. I also found it on Cricut Design Space, and you could expand this and use it on a really large tray. I chose to use the smaller bamboo wood tray from Dollar Tree. I do this for my Santa trays for the milk and cookies as well. It may not be as practical. I don't know how many eggs and pancakes and little pieces of fruit you'll really be able to fit on the board, but I think it's really cute, maybe symbolically more. You you could put a little bit of food on there. But I remember when I was a kid bringing my mom her breakfast in bed tray, and it was so heavy and so big, and I tripped and fell, and the eggs and the orange juice went flying everywhere. So honestly, maybe this smaller bamboo board is actually a better idea if you're gonna have the kids bringing in the goodies to mom, because it's very lightweight, and since you can't fit too much on there, you don't really have to run the risk of kids dropping it and, you know, the scrambled eggs and orange juice just going everywhere. I really like how this turned out. I love using the bamboo trays for lots of different crafts from Dollar Tree. The next DIY gift is if you want to give a gift card but want to jazz it up a little bit, don't just want to give a card and a gift card. Do not miss out on the Dollar Tree mugs. I have many of their glasses and mugs. They are excellent quality, and we're going to be using one in today's DIY. I have also used this mug in previous videos, DIYs. I have used it in my faux whipped cream topper. I'll insert a video here. I found this sweet SVG which says full hands, full heart on, no surprise, Cricut design space. I'll leave the link to the project down below in case you want to use it too. And I really liked the vinyl that I also used. It was lots of different floral patterns. And to fill up our mug, I'm not really sure what the proper term for this is. I guess packaging. I call it worms. I don't really know. I had some red ones on hand. Dollar Tree always has lots of different colors, sometimes even metallics. And then I stuck in a gift card. This would also be a great teacher gift. Maybe give them a Starbucks gift card. Like I mentioned a couple of DIYs ago, one of the classic Mother's Day presents is breakfast in bed. So I will show you how I made this Mother's Day room service door hanger. I did find the project on the community Cricut design space page. So like I've said a bunch of times already, don't worry, I will have everything linked down below. I am not a mom, but I am a dog mom, and as you can see, my dog was very interested in what his mom wanted for breakfast. So this template, again, I got off Cricut, so I did a print then cut. I also wanted to show you how to make this without a Cricut. Pretty easy. I just printed out my design, and using the glue sticks, I got brand new ones from Dollar Tree, 2 in a pack, and they are jumbo, so I think they're gonna last me a very long time. I went ahead and put some of that down. I had cut a hole, not very nicely, but it doesn't even matter because the printed out version is going to hide that when I glue it on top. And then I just grabbed my paper trimmer and trimmed down all the edges to size, as well as made a little slit in the top so that it can actually hang on our doorknob. I wanted to add a little bit more embellishment, and I don't think I have actually shown this on my channel, so we're going to be doing this little ribbon hole punch hack. You will take your hole punch and hole punch 2 holes, and then thread some ribbon through each of them. Then once you flip over your card or whatever it is that you're working with, you will cross them in the back and then make a bow, and push that bow through the opposite hole punch that you started with, and you can kind of start to see your bow taking shape. And you're going to do the exact same thing with the other side. Make a little bow and push it through the opposite hole punch that you've made. Then you can pull them just like a bow, and you could leave it as is. I always like to pull the tails through, so you do the exact same thing, just this time with the tails. Take it to the opposite hole punch that you did your last action at and pull them through. You can cut them down to size. I think that is very cute. But for this DIY, I decided to keep the tails because I wanted to use it as a border. So I used my glue sticks yet again and just glued down the ribbon to the left side of the Mother's Day room service sign. And I really like the elegant touch that it added. So this DIY is ready for mom to fill out and hang on her door. And you, or maybe in my case, my dog, can fulfill my order for me. This next DIY kind of works twofold. You can gift it alone or gift it with a pair of jewelry. I know a lot of people for Mother's Day might get their mom a nice new necklace or a set of earrings. So this little trinket dish is from the Dollar Tree, and I used my Cricut to write out mom's treasures and adhere that down onto the trinket tray. You could gift this as is if she's a big jewelry fan and already has a collection of her own, or include it with a brand new pair of jewelry for mom. This next one is a really fast and easy one using all Dollar Tree supplies. You could put in some seeds like I did, or you could put in soil and an already bloomed plant into this little clay pot. Like I said, all of these items were a Dollar Tree. I didn't use the Cricut on this one. I just went ahead and used my favorite Crafter Square chalk marker to write out Mom's Garden. I love these little watering can signs that I picked up at the Dollar Tree. These were in the garden section, not in the Crafter Square section, like I kind of thought that they might be. And also the little craft bees, so cute. I found those on an end cap in the gardening section, and I used the bee to hide the little hole in the watering can. The watering cans also came with some jute. I think you were supposed to hang them or make them as a tag. So that's why I put the bee on there to kind of cover that part up. I would definitely recommend hot gluing this down and using some E6000 if you're gonna put this outside. But when I filmed this, we actually had a cold front kind of come in. So I did go back and add in a little bit sturdier glue. I just used a sticker dot for this video. And then Dollar Tree sells seeds for $1. So I picked out some of my faves that I thought would look pretty in my garden and tucked those down into the clay pot. A lot of these DIYs, you could substitute the word mom or change it around like I did in this DIY. So instead of kind of being for a traditional Mother's Day, this one is for a plant mom. I'm sure you guys could think of something creative to also do for a dog mom. As you can see, my dog was very interested in what I was doing outside. I will link down below this really adorable SVG that says plant mom on it. And the vinyl that I used was green, but kind of had some leaves on it, a little bit of white pieces. So I thought that fit perfectly, and the galvanized tin is from Dollar Tree. I would really recommend getting an actual live plant, but like I said, we had a little bit of a cold spell, so I didn't want to waste the money on a live plant. So I just staged this with a fake one that I had in my house, but I think gifting someone a plant is a great housewarming gift too, so there's an idea for you. Sticking with the outdoor theme, I don't know what it is, but when I think of Mother's Day, maybe because it's around the springtime, I just think of gardening and flowers. So I have created this gardening tin full of great Dollar Tree supplies. I love the galvanized tins from the Dollar Tree. I think they are really beautiful as is, but of course I had to DIY it a bit. I took a strip of burlap from a large bundle of burlap fabric that I had, and I just cut it into a strip and then hot glued it down the center of my tin. And over that, I had a welcome galvanized sign, so I'm going ahead and hot gluing that on top before moving on to the sides of our tin. These are just going to be decorative handles. I took a bit of the nautical rope from the Dollar Tree and just hot glued it onto the sides. If you wanted this to actually work as handles, I would recommend adding a bit of E6000 glue just to make sure that they really stay in place. Now is the perfect time to check out the Dollar Tree gardening section. I put in some Dollar Tree tools, and I was very impressed with these gloves. I have used quite a few Dollar Tree gloves in the past. These ones have a rubberized almost feel around the fingertips, and I really like that because I pull weeds with my current Dollar Tree gloves, and in the thumb and the pointer finger section I have worn holes in them. So I'm excited to give the rubberized ones a try and see if those work any better to complete our garden. I keep wanting to call it a basket, but our garden tin, I also included some Dollar Tree seed packets. This next DIY is using an old vegetable can, and I actually meant for it to be something a little bit different, but I had to improvise. You'll see in just a second. I originally wanted to make a crushed tin can floral pot DIY. If you put that in on Pinterest, you'll see exactly what it is, but unfortunately you have to take off the top and the bottom of the can, and on these larger cans the bottoms are rounded, so you need something smaller like a green bean can or a little can of corn. This was a larger can of beans, so my crushed flower pot idea kind of went to the wayside, but maybe I'll do it in a future DIY. So I decided to just go with a good old-fashioned napkin Mod Podge. So I peeled off the beans label, and then I went in with some peach colored paint. This is called Calypso Coral by, I believe it was Surma Paint. and went on with that. It's not super necessary, but just in case it peeks through the napkin, I liked the pink color rather than the silver of the tin can. Then I laid down some Mod Podge, and once I had pulled my Dollar Tree napkin from a 2-ply to a thinner 1-ply, I just laid this down on the can, make sure to smooth everything. I actually kind of liked it a little bit wrinkled. I'm not sure if it was because it was a tin can, but I was liking the rustic vibe, so I went in with some more Mod Podge on top to kind of create some more wrinkles. I layered it on pretty thick. Of course, if you want less wrinkles, use less Mod Podge, and you can also put some clear saran wrap over it to smooth out any of those wrinkles. I made sure to get the bottoms of our can, and then before I filled it with some flowers, of course, I had to add some embellishments using one of my favorite crafting supplies, my good old trusty jute or twine. I wrapped that around the can about 4 or 5 times before tying it in the back. In a previous video, I made denim, burlap, and twine flowers. I'll leave that link above. I'm taking one of those embellishments and a sticker dot and attaching that onto my can. Definitely check out that video if you want to learn how to make these flowers. They're really fun to do and might look complicated, but are actually pretty easy. Next up, I'm going to show you 10 more Mother's Day DIYs that I made last year. This one I think would be so cute paired with an actual pecan pie. Bonus points if you actually make it for your mom instead of just buying one at the store. This is my mom's favorite dessert, so I decided to use this recipe on my Dollar Tree cutting board, but you can use whatever recipe is your favorite, or really whatever your mom's favorite is, but maybe you can't make your mom's favorite, so it might just be easier to go with chocolate chip cookies or something. But I took one of the Easter cutting boards from the Dollar Tree and I covered it in white paint and then wrapped a bit of jute around the top of it. I absolutely loved this adorable pecan pie design, so I decided to place this down on my cutting board. I used some vinyl, but you could always print it out and use some Mod Podge to paste it or transfer it on. To complete this DIY, I added a buffalo check bow and a little bit of brown paint to distress everything. And if you're not a big baker, I think this would be also really cute paired with some nice new kitchen or baking utensils for mom. Next DIY, we are going back to the basics and making a simple Mother's Day card, but this one's a little bit more fun because it does have a little present tucked inside. I just grabbed some cardstock. This is a lavender color, so I also went with some lavender purpley colored teas so that it would all go together. Then I just cut out a teapot shape using some vinyl, but you could use sticker paper or just some more cardstock and then glue that on top. And this is the important part. I made a smaller tag and wrote out the pun, "You're a tea-rific mom," which I just love a good pun. You'll see another one later on in today's video. And then I just used some hot glue to adhere it on the bottom and the sides. And I didn't make it large enough for the tea bag exterior to fit, but when I took the tea bag out of its packaging, it fit really cute inside of the little teapot. This would be so great for mom. You could even include a gift card to Starbucks or her favorite tea shop. In keeping in with the baking, food, drink theme, I am now including this cute little mini rolling pin that says Mama's Kitchen. A lot of these DIYs could be gifts themselves, but I think are just a really cute homemade touch that you can add with a gift card. Again, with this one, get her some cute new kitchen utensils, maybe a cooking class for the two of you. So you can definitely add some higher ticket, maybe price items, but I know my mom always loved a nice homemade gift. It just really shows that you care and you took the time out to do something. So there's definitely nothing wrong with showering your mom in expensive gifts, but I also think it's really nice to include something little like this homemade rolling pin along with it. This next DIY Mother's Day gift is more for the grandmas out there and can be customized for grandmas with human grandchildren and those who are paw grandparents. I am making this DIY for my puppy's grandparents, but if you have children, this would be a really cute one to have them make for grandma. I am using some heat transfer vinyl on this and the phrase helping paws, but for grandchildren, I would just change it to helping hands. And then this is a fun interactive activity for the kids to get their little hands and put some paint on them, and they can leave a handprint on the oven mitt. That will be so cute for grandma to have. She can have either her grandchildren's adorable little handprints or, these paw prints. I thought of doing it with my dog, but that just seemed like a disaster waiting to happen, putting paint on his paws. So I went for the more manicured look and just picked this design out. This would be another cute one paired with a gift card, especially if it's coming from the dog. I know my parents watch my dog a lot, so it's a nice way to say thank you from him. This next DIY, I'm going back to the basics and get something that every mom wants on Mother's Day, which is some nice fresh flowers. So for this DIY, I'm taking some of these clear, they look like milk jar bottles, but they actually are the iced coffee bottles from the Dollar Tree. Delicious iced coffee and amazing for DIYs. I am going to need 3 of them in this DIY because, of course, each one is going to be a letter of mom. And I took some of my Waverly white chalk paint and I painted all 3 of the bottles, and then the 2 bottles that will be going on the outer edges. I put some jute all around at the top as well as a jute bow. And then the milk bottle that is going in the center, you can see I added some jute at the bottom and some more at the top. Now in this DIY, I made it about a week before actual Mother's Day, so I am using faux flowers, but to really make this extra special for mom, go out and get a bouquet of her favorite flowers and put them in these jars. It will be extra special, and every mom loves fresh flowers on Mother's Day. For these bottles to spell out mom, I just grabbed some sticker paper and cut out MOM. I placed these onto labels that I cut out of some lavender cardstock. Then I just grabbed a little bit more jute and threaded that through the tag that I made and attached it to the back of the bottle. And then once these were all secure, since I was using faux florals, I just popped those into the bottles. But if you're using fresh flowers, you might want to add a bit of water in beforehand so that your flowers stay nice and lively for mom. Another typical gift for mom on Mother's Day is a candle, but this one is a little bit more customized. So I actually found this mother dictionary kind of printout, but with some more cute sayings like "see also Superwoman." And I have this available for you to print. I will leave a link down in the description box below so that you guys could use this. You could either trace it onto the candle or Mod Podge it down. Just be careful since this is flammable. And I just used some vinyl to do this and my cutting machine, and once I had weeded everything out, I adhered it back on to the candle. This next gift for mom is definitely more heavy on the DIY side. We're going to be transforming an old Dollar Tree sign into this really cute mother acrostic. I'm using one of these Halloween signs, but they do come out with them for Christmas, and I believe they did for Easter as well. I first grabbed a paint sample that I had on hand to lay down as a base because these are some really dark orange and black colors. Also, since I will be adding a beaded border, I grabbed some colorful beads that are actually from a children's bracelet from the Dollar Tree and popped those into a bag along with some paint and are just letting those roll around in the paint. Sometimes that's just easier than putting them on a skewer stick and hand painting them. Once my base layer has dried, I went in with my nice Waverly chalk paint to lay down that white base. For the sides, I wanted to add a bit of texture, so I picked up this ribbon from the Dollar Tree, of course, and it's kind of more of a boho rattan vibe. Not really sure how to describe it, but it just was very boho to me. And I really liked it, but I wanted everything to be a little bit more monochromatic and white, so I am covering it, just stippling lightly with a sponge brush and some more of that white paint. This tin flower is from the gardening section of the Dollar Tree. I believe it's meant to hang in your backyard. It had a little bell on it, kind of like a wind chime. But I'm going to be painting this in some different shades of blue. First, just to cover up that bright orange, I did lay down a base white coat, and then I went in with these fun watercolor brushes. I got these in the Crafter Square section. You fill them up with water, and as you're painting, you can squeeze the brush and water will come out. This makes for blending and adding dimension to anything that you're painting just a lot easier. As the hanger for this piece of decor, I used floral wire and a mixture of the children's bracelet beads, which were now dry, as well as some wood beads that I got off Amazon. I will leave it linked below. For my acrostic, I of course had the main word being mother, and then I added some adjectives that described my mom, and you can customize this to fit your mom, get creative with it. You can ask your kids to help you out, and then I hot glued the flower onto the side of the sign for a nice touch of spring decor since Mother's Day is in May, so I had to throw in a little bit of the springtime decor. I mentioned earlier that I love a good pun, and this DIY was no exception. I think this would be so cute. You can head to Lowe's or your local garden center and pick up a real succulent for your mom. In this case, you could get a small aloe vera plant, and then right on the planter, a cute little pun. This one is aloe you vera much, but there are so many other really cute things that you can do. You can get her some time and right on the planter, love spending time with you. You can pick up some dill maybe for her garden and say you are dilly great. There are so many different fun plant puns out there. All you gotta do is head to Google or Pinterest and the ideas are endless. I had this small succulent that kind of looked like a fake aloe vera plant, so I thought this one would be perfect in my house. I just found out about this saying recently when I was on my Pinterest and saw a couple Mother's Day DIYs pop up, and I thought it was so funny because it really is so true. Home is wherever mom is. So to create this faux book stack, I grabbed one of the wood crates from the Dollar Tree. Quick and easy hack is if you flip the wood crate upside down, it really does look like 3 books stacked on top of one another. So then on the far right hand, I just put home is where mom is, and I used some vinyl for this, but you could use letter stickers or just write it on with a Sharpie or maybe a paint pen. And then to decorate the book stack, I grabbed some burlap fabric as well as some of this kind of torn up linen fabric that I'm really loving. And I just wrapped that around the sides and then tied it all together with some jute so it looked like it was a stack of kind of brown paper books held together with some string. I tucked some purple floral picks underneath my ribbon to add that nice pop of color, but if your mom is a book lover, I think it'd be really cute to tuck in maybe a Barnes & Noble or an Amazon gift card under the ribbon so she can buy herself some new books. This last DIY Mother's Day gift is a reminder for mom to give herself a little pamper day. I grabbed one of these small burlap drawstring bags. I got a whole bunch of them from burlapfabrics.com. If you haven't checked them out before, they are awesome. You can get a large quantity of items for really inexpensive. And I just filled mine up with some Epsom salts, but you could fill yours up with bath bombs, a shower gel, bubble bath, anything that you want. And then I just made a cute label, and instead of saying Epsom salts, I wanted it to say bubble bath just because it was cuter. But you can make it whatever is in your burlap bag. Just write it on a cute label and stick that on. It's so easy and really quick to make, but I just think the quality of the burlap bag and then the cute little label is an adorable gift for mom. And hey, if you want to add in a spa gift card, I don't think she'd mind. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep searching, keep creating.